In an old village surrounded by golden wheat fields and narrow, dusty paths lived a man named Thomas. Every morning he sat outside his small wooden house, staring at the rising sun with frustration in his eyes. While others greeted the day with hope, Thomas greeted it with complaints, believing life had chosen hardship only for him. Thomas worked as a carpenter, a skill passed down from his father. His hands were strong, and his work had potential, yet he rarely felt satisfied. Whenever business slowed, he blamed the villagers for being ungrateful. When money became tight, he blamed fate itself, convinced the world was unfairly against him. His wife Emma was gentle and patient. She believed Thomas was capable of greatness, but her encouragement often turned into arguments. "You never see how hard I try," Thomas would say angrily. Emma would fall silent, knowing that no words could reach a man who refused to listen. In the village square, other craftsmen worked peacefully together. They shared tools, laughter, and advice. Thomas watched from afar, assuming they were simply lucky. He never noticed their early mornings, their dedication, or the humility that made customers trust them. One afternoon, a farmer returned a table Thomas had built, explaining that one leg was uneven. Instead of fixing it calmly, Thomas argued loudly, blaming poor wood and unreasonable expectations. The farmer left disappointed, and nearby villagers quietly chose other carpenters afterward. Days passed, and fewer customers visited his workshop. Thomas blamed rumors spreading through the village. He blamed competition, weather, and even changing times. Yet deep inside, an uncomfortable truth waited patiently, a truth he was not ready to accept. At home, tension grew heavier. Emma spoke less, and laughter disappeared from their evenings. Thomas believed she no longer supported him, unaware that his constant blaming had slowly built a wall between their hearts. One evening, after another argument, Thomas walked toward the village well. The sky turned orange as the sun disappeared behind distant hills. The quietness felt unfamiliar. For once, no one argued with him. No one challenged him. Only silence remained. As he sat there, an elderly man named William approached slowly. William was respected by everyone in the village for his wisdom and calm nature. Sitting beside Thomas, he asked gently, "Why does your face carry so much anger, my friend?" Thomas began listing his troubles: unfair customers, misunderstanding family, bad luck, and difficult circumstances. He spoke for several minutes without pause, convinced his suffering was obvious to anyone willing to listen. William listened quietly, then picked up a small stone from the ground and placed it into Thomas's hand. "Hold this tightly," he said. Thomas obeyed. After a moment, his hand began to ache. "Does the stone hurt you?" William asked. "Yes," Thomas replied. "Then tell me," William continued calmly, "is the stone hurting you, or the way you are holding it?" Thomas looked confused, unsure how to respond. William smiled softly. "Many people suffer not because life is cruel, but because they hold their problems too tightly while blaming everything else. Responsibility feels heavy, but it also gives freedom." That night Thomas lay awake, staring at the wooden ceiling of his home. Memories replayed in his mind: arguments, lost customers, Emma's silent tears, and opportunities he had ignored. Slowly, he noticed something painful. Every problem seemed connected to his reactions. For the first time, Thomas wondered if blaming others had protected his pride while quietly destroying his future. The thought frightened him, yet it also felt honest. The next morning, Thomas cleaned his workshop carefully. Dust that had gathered for weeks disappeared under his effort. He repaired broken tools and examined his past work with fresh eyes, noticing mistakes he once ignored. When a customer arrived, Thomas listened patiently instead of defending himself. He fixed small problems without argument. The customer smiled and thanked him warmly, a reaction Thomas had not seen in a long time. Day by day, Thomas changed small habits. He woke earlier, worked with care, and spoke kindly. Instead of blaming weather or luck, he focused on improving what he could control. At home, He apologized sincerely to Emma. His voice trembled as he admitted his mistakes. She did not speak immediately, but her eyes softened, showing hope returning where disappointment once lived. Weeks later, villagers began trusting him again. Orders returned slowly, and his workshop filled with activity. Thomas realized nothing magical had changed outside, only his mindset had transformed. One evening he met William again near the well and thanked him. The old man smiled and said, "Life changes when we stop searching for someone to blame and start searching for ways to grow." Thomas finally understood. Blame had given him excuses, but responsibility gave him power. By accepting his role in his problems, he gained the ability to shape his future. From that day forward, Thomas taught others a simple lesson. Blaming the world makes us feel safe, but it keeps us stuck. Growth begins when courage replaces excuses. The moment you take responsibility, you reclaim control over your life. So when life feels unfair and your heart asks, "Why is everything against me?" Pause for a moment, breathe, and ask a better question. What can I change today to become stronger tomorrow?